Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
This is the greatest show!
And now, here's your host, Clint Arthur.
All right. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Welcome to the greatest show of all time right here on 77 WABC Radio in New York City. My name is Clint Arthur, and I am your host, especially if you are an author, a speaker, a coach, an entrepreneur, a consultant, advisor, any kind of expert. If that means you, then you are in the right place, and you need to sit down and get yourself a nice beverage of your choice, preferably non-alcoholic, and focus on the amazing things that we have to offer you here today, because I am joined by one of my favorite people in the whole entire world. Her name is London Scott. And when I met her, around 2013, 2014, somewhere in there, she was a hair extension expert.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, hair extension expert? I never even heard of such a thing. London, welcome to the greatest show of all time.
Thank you. Hi. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is, ain't it, though? And it's great to have you with us. And I would appreciate it if you would begin by just telling people your story and letting them get to know you.
Sure. I am a radical transformation expert. I originally started out as a hair extension expert. And after a call and meeting with Clint, he helped me to realize that all my experience in the modeling industry and success in the modeling industry and talent industry, that I really wasn't just a hair extension expert. I was a beauty expert who happened to do hair extensions as part of the transformation that I offered. And so as that grew, I went on to do more with Clint and became really involved and had been in the movie and film and entertainment industry. And when I was working on Jason Momoa for the Aquaman series, he coined me the radical transformation expert because of also the emotional transformation that I do.
I want to get into that. That's really fascinating. I'd like you to talk about some of your own personal transformations.
I've been through several. The first was when I originally met Clint, and it was right after I had gone through pancreatic cancer. So I ended up having to recreate myself and transform myself. As I had done for so many people over the years, I had to really apply what I was using on other people for myself, because after I went through surgery, I did not look like myself. I did not feel like myself. I looked in the mirror and I saw cancer staring back at me. And so I applied what I do with other clients, and that is I had to recreate, first of all, who I saw in the mirror. And then I took that and recreated who I wanted to show up as physically at a time that I felt the least qualified to do so. It was a really hard time, but I saw this as an opportunity. I mean, hey, the world wasn't expecting a whole lot from me, right? So I thought, why not go in and just blow it out of the water and transform myself completely and my business. And I did. I became more successful, happier, and showed up more solid in the world than I ever had.
Aside from the star of Aquaman movies, who are some of your clients?
The clients I can talk about that openly endorse me are, I helped Miss USA transform through Miss USA Olivia Jordan transformed through 3 pageants to go on to win the Miss USA. She started out Miss Oklahoma, so I participated in her transformation. I participated in the transformation of 3 American presidents, working with their staff. And Miss World, and about 40 film and entertainment companies with their clients, as well as 200 beauty magazines, top beauty magazines.
Let's talk about the radical transformation that Aquaman said you were responsible for. Talk about that. How come he's saying that you are the queen of radical transformation? What's that all about?
Well, when they contacted me, when the film industry contacted me that was putting together the film, they were on their last hope. They literally said to me, "You are our last hope. We have a vision that we want for him, but nobody can seem to bring that vision to life. And everything that we've tried is not getting us there." And so I said, I can do it. And as I was preparing him for the role and working on his physical transformation, I began to speak into him as I started to see some uncomfortable things that came up. I started talking him into that physical transformation, because you can't really have a full physical transformation without an equal emotional transformation at the same time. And you can't have an emotional transformation, a true long-lasting emotional transformation, without it showing up physically. So I began to speak into him, "You're the greatest person for this role," and all the things that I do with all of my clients. And when we finished that physical transformation, he did not say, "I look like a rock star." He said, "I feel like a rock star." It was the first time that the producer ever had remembered not having to reshoot a scene. He showed up ready emotionally, and physically he hit it out of the park. He's an amazing person anyways, and he's already had so much success. He was easy to work with. But I just took him into the next role that he was created to play.
To be able to see your vision realized up on the screen that way. I know that real life performances are oftentimes even more profound than when they're captured on film or video, as it may be. But sometimes when it's magnified gigantic like that, it becomes even bigger. I remember when you and I were speaking at West Point with Buzz Aldrin and Lieutenant General Russell Honore.
Yes.
Do you remember what Honore said?
I think I do.
He said, "All the opportunities on the other side of impossible."
Oh, that was so powerful.
It sounds like that's what you accomplished with Aqua.
Yes, helping him step into the next level of success. Every next level of success requires a new version of you. And that famous quote is so true.
What goes through your mind when you have a major movie producer telling you, "We have tried everything. We have worked with everyone before we came to you. You're our last chance." How do you have the cojones to say, "Oh, I could do that," when everybody else has already failed?
I have the cojones to say that because I have a system that I've used over and over and over that allows me to be able to be confident, to be able to bring forth the transformation, physical or emotional, that other people are unable to bring out in people.
Tell us about that system. What is it exactly that you are using to create physical and emotional transformations for success?
I call it my radical transformation roadmap. And what I do, the first thing I do is I'm not there to be your friend. I'm there to yank you out of your comfort zone. So I will pull you out of your comfort zone to find out how solid you really are emotional, because so much of what we are is attached to the physical. So if we can shake up the physical, I guarantee you the emotional is going to show up. So let's just, what I call my get raw, get real. And that is, if we're going to go through emotional crap, let's do it here. Let's not do it when you're campaigning for president. Let's not do it when you are stepping in front of a camera in the greatest role of your life. Sometimes the greatest role of your life can cause the greatest meltdown. Let's have that meltdown here I'm going to almost push you to the point of that meltdown so that we can clear all of the crap prior to you stepping into what you were created to be. So I separate the emotional from the physical with the get raw, get real. Then I go in and I start helping them to merge the emotional and the physical at the same time so that I can prepare them for what they're going to see. Many times actors don't have creative control. They can't say, I don't like this. It's not up to them. They signed a contract. It's up to the people that created the role. And a lot of times, even with presidents, it's up to their campaign. Who's advising them? They don't necessarily have a whole lot to say. People think they do. They do not. So you have to align yourself with the physical transformation that people have designed for you on certain roles. But like I said, the emotional can show up. So the next step I do is I start speaking to the emotional, speaking love, speaking life into that and helping them to know that they really are the greatest for that role because they have to believe it, Clint, like you've said it. I've heard you say it over and over. You have to believe that you are the greatest person for that. And you have to step into that. So I start speaking life into them and calling out what I see, because often I will see something in them that they've yet to realize in themselves. By the gift of God or whatever you want to call it, it's a gift I've had since a small child. I can look at somebody and see the greatness. And then the last step I do is a physical transformation. I bring in all of the team I've worked with that some people can't even get in front of. And I will bring them in to help navigate that physical transformation by all of the top experts who have done it over and over and over that can take that physical transformation and bring it to life.
I believe that it's something special about being a coach who knows what they're doing, a mentor who knows what they're doing. So many times with clients, I can clearly see what they are capable of doing. They have no idea, but I've seen it over and over. So I know what's possible. And all they have to do is just do what I tell them, and then they get what I can envision for them.
Yes.
Sounds like it's the same thing.
True. You did that with me. Yes, you did. You caused some of my biggest transformations.
How has that helped you?
Oh, goodness, Clint, I'll never forget the meltdown that I had when you wanted me to start doing media segments. And you said to me something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And that was, look, London, I see where you're headed, but what's going on with you today is not just about appearing on TV in front of the camera, because I'm used to being behind the scene. So in front of the camera, because what's going on with you today isn't just about this moment. It's showing up. I can guarantee you it's showing up in every area of your life. And you were right. And so you pushed me past that. And I'm going to tell you, it opened up a whole new world for me.
How you do anything is how you do anything.
Yes.
And how you do anything is how you do everything. And on top of that, especially when you come to a transformational event, however you show up at my event, that's how you're showing up in the rest of your life. That's for sure.
True.
You've been to a lot of our stuff. Let's see. You've been to Celebrity Launchpad, Instant Local Celebrity. You've been to the Business Expert Forum, the Leadership Speakers Academy at West Point. Why do you keep coming back to all of this stuff? Why do you keep showing up? I mean, I'm not saying we don't like it. Allie and I love it when you show up.
Well, I love you guys.
Yeah, but it's more than just loving us.
It is. Just like somebody brings me in, Clint, I am the client that I hope to have. Just like every next level that I want to go to, I know that I am most likely not going to do that without some help. So I go to the top experts, and you and Allie are the top experts. And every single time I've participated, without fail, that I have participated in something that you've offered or that I've shown up at one of your events, it has astronomically launched me into a whole nother level of success without fail.
I'm most excited about this event because we have coming up August 7th, 8th, 9th, we have Dr. Oz, Dr. Drew, Paula Dean, the celebrity chef, Patch Adams, Surgeon
Yeah.
General of the United States, NASA astronaut, gold medal female MMA world champion fighter. We got so many amazing, outstanding people. Dr. Catrice Austin, celebrity dentist who recently was on Dr. Oz. We have so many amazing people who are coming to this who are going to be sharing their secrets for impact, influence, and income. I'm like, my mind is blown about this. What are you most looking forward to achieving with or discovering with these other experts?
I am looking to learn from them. I am looking to be able to be in a room with such high level people. And the ability that creates in me to launch to a whole nother level of success. Because I always say you shouldn't be the smartest person in the room. And right? And without fail, every single time that there's an event, it really stretches me to show up, just to get there. Physically, it's a lot. But I know that these people and that the stage and the being in the room with them and the media after, okay, let's talk about the media after, is going to launch me to and push me into a whole nother level of success. It's going to do what I do with my clients. It's going to push me way out of my comfort zone.
When I was on the Today Show with Brooke Shields, I said, life begins where your comfort zone ends. And I really do believe that. Every time it's scary is when it's really great. This whole time has been really scary for me and Allie and everyone else in the world. And it's really going to be the precursor of something really great. I believe that. I believe life is happening for us. And I know that you being in our lives is definitely happening for us. And we're really grateful that you are choosing to spend your time and money and energy with us and Dr. Oz, Dr. Drew, and everybody else in Atlanta, August 7, 8, 9, and beyond that as well.
This opportunity with Dr. Drew and everything is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It is. And the timing, and you are so fortuitous on the timing of stuff. You don't know it, but there's like an inner guidance that just, you create these events at a time that you can't script this stuff.
Yeah,
the timing of this is unbelievable.
Yeah, these people are very relevant right now. They are very current right now. So yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, we're going to have a great time there. Great job, London. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You look fantastic, sweetie. Really, really.
Thank you. I feel so. Yeah. And I didn't talk. I know you wanted me to talk about what it was going to take to get to the event. And I don't know if there's a way to throw it in there, but if I can get there with what I'm going to have to go through to get there, anybody can. There's no excuses.
If anyone, we have so few tickets left. We have less than 20 tickets left for this event. Because of social distancing, we are going to restrict the number of attendees. So if you're smart, go to www.imm20.com. That stands for Instant Marketing Miracle. imm20.com. Get your ticket, and you can get pictures with Dr. Oz, Dr. Drew, and I will teach you how to use those photos to enhance your marketing and your business, especially if you are an author, speaker, coach, entrepreneur, expert, advisor, consultant of any kind. These are the most powerful marketing assets you can get. And that's why I choose to spend my money bringing in experts like this to help me in my business.
Phenomenal.
And we'll be helping everybody who's there to take their lives, their careers, and their mission on this planet to the next level, at least one level higher, but probably a lot levels higher. IMM20.com. My guest has been London Scott. Thank you so much, London. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with us here on the greatest show of all time.
I'm super excited.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, it's time for my favorite part of the show. It is the home repair section with CEO of homerepair.com, Mr. Tony Silva. 30 plus years repairing homes. Geez, What's the biggest lesson you've learned in this whole 30 years of experience, Tony?
I would have to say that homes in general, they're a great asset and you got to take care of them. It's kind of like your body, right? So Dr. Oz talks about how we got to take care of ourselves, gives us all the tips on, how our body functions and works so that we can be at optimal health. And a home is almost its own living, breathing body also, right? They require maintenance. You got to take care of them. I mean, you can see sometimes if you do any type of traveling, maybe in your own town or even to, different states or different countries, a home that's not maintained, you can see it, and they don't last. And it costs a lot of money to repair them, fix them up. So, I would say a big thing is that take care of it. It's like anything. If you take care of it, it'll last you a long time, and it's a lot less expensive to do preventative maintenance than have to overhaul something because you didn't take care of it.
Awesome. So you've got some good stuff for the listeners this week. Simple home repair, maintenance stuff to save a lot of big bucks. What do you got this week?
Exactly. So this week is kind of one that it's the unsung hero. A lot of people don't even maybe know what this thing is, but it's called a sump pump, right? So if you live, especially, most places in America where we have basements, if you've got a basement, you more than likely have a sump pump. Now, some of you guys out there are like, oh, come on, sump pump. Everybody knows what that is. But hey, look, there are a lot of new homeowners, and we meet them every day, that they have no idea how things work at all. And that's okay, right? And so I might oversimplify this for some listeners to know exactly what a sump pump is. But, for the guy that doesn't know what that is, or the girl that doesn't know what that is, it's the little unsung hero that takes the water from your basement that naturally drains there, right? You don't have a flood for the sump pump to work. It's a low point in your basement. You've got all these tubings and everything that run underneath your foundation that drain the water to this pump, and it takes the water out of the basement so you don't have a flood. And what happens is if we get a gully wash or a thunderstorm that just lets loose and the water is actually seeping in there, and your sump pump fails or it doesn't turn on, you're going to have 2 to 12 inches of water in your basement. And that's not good.
When I lived on a boat, man, one day I woke up and there was water in the boat. And I was like, oh no, I'm sinking. And I had to figure out how to get that sump pump back on. That was scary stuff, man. A sump pump can save your life. It can save your house, definitely. And it's a very important thing that people don't even think about. That's a really great tip. Thanks, Tony. What's one more quick one, man?
Well, let me tell you on this one just real quick how you can test it, how to make sure that the thing is actually working, right? Because you don't want to find out your sump pump is not working when you have 3 inches of water, right? You don't want to wake up to the boat sinking, if you will. You want to test this ahead of time. So, find the sump pump itself. You take the lid off of it. You'll notice that there's a pipe coming out and there's a cord coming out. The cord plugs into a wall. The first step is a lot of times that plug is plugged into a GFI, one of those breakers that trip, like where your hairdryer is at maybe, and test that. Make sure that that's working. And then just a really simple way to make sure that the sump is actually working itself is take a bucket of water and fill it up and dump it in the pump and listen for the thing to turn on. Now, I recommend before you do that, you'll see the pipe that's coming out of there. It's going up the wall. It's going somewhere. Trying to find that outside the house where it actually goes to and make sure that it can release. It's not plugged up from something that happened, somebody dug something up. But make sure the water can flow freely. Make sure that the thing turns on, and then you're good to go. If it doesn't turn on, you might have just saved yourself tens of thousands of dollars. Because let me tell you, a sump pump failure can be a covered loss on your insurance policy if you have that specifically written in there, which a lot of people don't. Otherwise, it's considered a flood. And if you have a flood, especially with a finished basement, you can have thousands and thousands of dollars of damages that you'll pay for yourself. And you know what? It's not really something you want to leave alone because the mold, if you get mold down there, that's a big deal. So this really simple, a bucket of water. Just pour it in there, make sure the thing runs. Do it a couple times a year. It's that important.
Amen to that. Amazing stuff, so simple and yet could be so costly. And if any of this is resonating for you, or if you've had any kind of damage, flood damage, storm damage to your home, you should probably go to homerepair.com and check it out, or give Tony Silva a call. And what is the toll-free number, Tony?
It's 877-RED-HOUSE.
All right. Thanks so much for bringing everything you bring to the greatest show of all time. And Tony will be back with us again next week.
Great. Thanks for having me, Clint.
Hey, we're in storm season. If you've got damage to your home, you need any kind of home repair or remodeling, you'd be super smart to call the one and only Tony Silva at homerepair.com. Give him the number, Tony.
877-RED-HOUSE.
And I'm excited to ask Dr. Oz if he has recently cleaned his window well covers on his house. We've got our event coming up with Dr. Oz. Tony Silva is going to be a big player at that event. He'll be there, and if you want to meet him, come join us at CNN Center in Atlanta, August 7, 8, 9. August 7, 8, 9. It'll be here before you know it. Dr. Oz will be there, Dr. Drew. Celebrity chef Paula Dean will be hosting our down-home Southern cooking barbecue. I'm excited about that and to hear what she has to say about being a gracious hostess. And we got the Surgeon General, Patch Adams, who inspired the movie by Robin Williams, and NASA astronaut Mike Massimino. And she may kick your butt, Janae Noonan, gold medal world champion MMA fighter, is going to be there talking about her children's book and how she made it a bestseller, and much, much more. If you're interested in tickets, go to www.imm20.com. That stands for Instant Marketing Miracle 2020. So it's imm20.com, and I'll see you there. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of The Greatest Show of All Time. We'll be back next Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Every week, it's all about how to help you to be seen, be heard, and be wanted. And I'm Clint Arthur. Thanks for listening. We'll see you here Sunday night, 77 WABC Radio in New York City with the greatest show of all time.
The greatest show of all time.